The number one leading cause of disease in Indigenous Australians is cardiovascular disease, the second being mental disorders. Nearly 30% of the Indigenous Australian population have a mental illness of some sort. Compared to non-Indigenous Australians, this is quite a large number. So why is there such a high rate of mental disorders amongst Indigenous Australians? In a journal article published by the Monash University Department of Rural and Indigenous Health, many Indigenous Australians noted unemployment, violence, poverty, and exclusion since post-invasion Australia as the cause of their poor mental health. Many Indigenous Australians do not seek treatment when dealing with mental issues. This is due to poor health literacy, low socio-economic status, and the stigma that surrounds mental disorders. Stigma is best described as the formation of stereotypes regarding an individual or community that can be associated with disgrace or shame. In an information paper published by Beyond Blue, they identified 4 different types of stigma: personal stigma, perceived stigma, self-stigma, and structural stigma. Beyond Blue have described personal stigma as a person's stigmatizing attitudes and beliefs about other people. They describe perceived stigma as a person's beliefs about the negative and stigmatizing views that other people hold. Self-stigma has been outlined as being the stigmatizing views that individuals hold about themselves, and structural stigma has been outlined as the policies of private and government institutions that restrict the opportunities, resources, and well-being of people with anxiety and depression. So how can we address and reduce this stigma? Education. We can educate the public on mental disorders, therefore opening up a discussion about mental disorders, which can bring the subject to the front line, rather than it being a hidden issue. This can be done through campaigns, programs such as Men's Shed and school talks that aim to increase the health literacy of Indigenous Australians. Multicultural staff. We can ensure that health centres have a multicultural set of staff. This will make people, regardless of their culture or nationality, feel comfortable with attending sessions. Increased funding. We can look at the current funding that is in place for mental health services. This will tell us what sort of budget we are working with when we review and update our current services. Building infrastructure. We can ensure that there are mental health services readily available to rural and remote Indigenous communities. This can include building new infrastructure to cope with the current demand for specialised health services. We can also look at updating our current health centres to make them more accessible to everyone in the community, such as adding ramps, to make sure that all information being given out is current and up to date. There are many things that can be done to reduce the stigma that surrounds mental illness, and if we do them correctly, more individuals from Indigenous communities will feel comfortable to get help when they need to improve their mental state.